All right, we should date post breakup. We got fun guests coming up that we're gonna find out who's gonna be. Who am I gonna date next? Right now, would I date a guy?
Hey, let's
Matty Chymbor again.
gay for emotional stability.
So does
No,
he
she
play
said he
like a
would.
game of like relationship chicken?
Mike?
Yeah.
No, I don't think he knows. I think he doesn't even register that.
He's just kind of like a relationship bulldozer.
I think this is a problem with comedians is their brain goes, what would be funny? And that's the trigger to the action, regardless of what the action is. So if he goes, no, it'd be funny if I just kissed her mid fireworks on 4th of July because people are watching, but she's taking it like this is romantic, and you're like, dude, that was funny.
I don't think I understand women.
I don't think it's meant for us to understand, I think, but
What?
I don't know.
Mark doesn't even understand women.
Mark is a woman. That's what he's starting to realize. Mark, yeah, you don't understand. You're not even worth bringing up.
Don't you think Maddie's grown up a lot since you first met him, like 2-3 years ago?
When you're single, you're an animal that's alone. You're very frantic. You're always looking over your shoulder like this kid.
What do you think I'm doing? You think I'm
You're always like looking out. You hear a scratch in the corner room. You can't not focus on that. Everything's very chaotic.
He's totally like a high energy ADHD
Yeah,
dog.
you have to be because you're because you're kind of like, if single people don't realize you're alone, like no one's with you. Like, it's kind of funny to.
Yeah, but that's kind of like
That's
fun.
funny. That is fun. It's funny, but I mean that's why but then when you start to date and then do I go to therapy? I try to look on the other side of understand the person you're across from and more.
I try to too, and then like
You what?
I don't know. I think that
You try to what? I don't know.
understand a woman's perspective a lot of the time in conversations.
Oh, I don't think you do at all.
In your defense of like going back to your Dana being on here, it's like to not bring up the issues in the moment or immediately after. That's setting you and them up for each other up for failure, which is like any relationship. You take the parts that you liked and you're like, God, if you just you're like, man, if you just did this and this different, it would have been fine. So are you doing that with Dana? You're like, if you just were cool, this would have worked.
I just let her say what she want and had her piece. It's like, I'm not going to force someone to do a podcast. If you don't see what I see, then we're just not on the same wavelength. Look, comedy's a tree. We're on a different branch. You know what I mean? And that's fine.
I watched part of the one with the therapist and you can feel it getting boring. And then you'd be like, and I was like, I know that feeling on a podcast where you're like, oh, this is not funny. And then you have to vomit something, and that's not a good feeling.
What's funny is I enjoyed that one the most.
I think that one was pretty interesting.
Yeah, because the guy had like an
that
ASMR voice. Imagine we had to freeze our own cum. I mean,
I would just do it myself.
Oh, I wouldn't
even go to a lab.
I would
like,
never.
Here, I froze a bunch, and I would just keep them in my freezer.
I would freeze.
Just comes in with a brick.
I would freeze too much cum.
Maybe I should. Maybe
you should just
do
it.
If I did finish in one of those ice trays and then I froze it. Can they use that?
No.
How do they? So then when they're freezing eggs, how does it?
I think it's more of a process of.
Well, what do they do when you finish in a cup and they use that?
Using it. They're actually, when you finish in a cup, there's like a window where they actually have to take it and bring it right. It's pretty quick.
Oh, they're not like saving it.
No, it's actually like you have her eggs. And then they go, okay, you got to do the cup. Unless there's a cup thing for testing your sperm, and then there's cup thing for using your sperm.
Do you know this for sure?
Yeah, because I watched that documentary, The Guy with 1,000 Kids. And then I feel like just
he would just go every day.
Well, what happened was the guy.
They'll take some and they'll freeze it in a test tube.
Mark, please.
Wait,
no.
So they freeze
the guy. Did you watch the documentary?
No.
Basically, he was from Sweden or Denmark. I don't know what the difference, but basically, you can go to you can donate your sperm, but he got addicted to it and he kept doing it.
Why did he get addicted to it?
Because he just liked the fact that he had kids out there. So then he kept going, and then it got to the point where they had to put a limit that if you keep going, there's gonna be too many of your kids around, and then you're risking incest. Because they don't know.
It's still, if you spread 1,000 kids over 1,000 countries, it's
but then if they start inbreeding, that's actually an issue for a country. So what was happening? They go, these kids, what's going to happen is he's going to have 100 kids in a city, and then two of the kids are going to be like, I don't know why I'm attracted to you. It's because you're actually fucking related.
But then also, when did that? But that's how we started.
Yeah, we're not like starting from like, I mean, it literally expanded so fast and then maybe immediately, but then I think it kind of spread more. But although, I mean, that's assuming we started like Adam and Eve style, but I'm sure there was a few humans.
So you think there was a few Adam and Eves?
There had to have been.
That's not what the Bible says.
Well, maybe. I mean, I'm actually curious, like if outside of the Bible, there had to have been, I never even thought of this till now. We know Adam and Eve and then but was there a bunch of dudes and women just popping up and fucking?
I mean, there's like we don't know
different versions of humanoid.
There's no theory,
like caveman style, and
I guess we came
Cro-Magnon man type thing.
We came from,
and there was a bunch of crossbreeding.
Yeah, like okay, say I saw a TikTok where they showed us evolving from a fish. I'm like, well, if there was 1,000 of those fish all evolving at once, and then they kept fucking simultaneously, and we all came up in like a wave of people.
So, but anyways, it would have been we evolved from monkeys.
If you kept
the most
going,
logical thing.
No,
we're
you're
back
not
to
wrong.
Village Idiots.
No.
Yeah,
this is a good segment for that. No, you're not wrong. I'm saying, but if you went further back, I mean, at some point, monkeys were like a fish in the water.
No, I don't think monkeys came from fish.
Yes, they did.
Monkeys came from fish.
Hey, bro, a monkey just didn't pop up one day.
I thought maybe he came out of an egg.
It evolved from something.
So everything evolves from a fish?
Yeah, we started as little fucking
Tadpoles.
bacteria in the ocean by where the lava was, and then shit started evolving.
And then we crawled onto land.
Yep.
And then we were crawlers. And then that turned into a monkey.
And then that turned into more and more and more.
And then eventually someone invented a flute.
Yeah.
And then started playing flutes.
And then at one random time, a Dana and a Lone Nochi were made, and they made a podcast together
for 16 episodes.
That you can still watch at the link.
Well, every episode leads to the last episode.
But anyways, the guy. So then there was like he found a community of dudes that were obsessed with that shit, and they actually got arrested. And like they're like, if you do it again, you're gonna go to prison, or some of them probably did jail time.
Well, what are you in jail for? Finishing in a cup?
Well, some of them guys are scumbags. They go, we can do it the scientific way, or we can do it the old-fashioned way. And they would like offer to fuck these like lesbians, or like whoever was trying to have kids. Is that crazy?
I mean, hey, if you guys, instead of going through a doctor for $20,000, I'll just come over.
He literally said that to like one of the women,
and they're like, "No, I would do it."
Maybe I think some of them might have took him up. They go, he's not a bad looking guy. Like he comes,
but also
over.
just like, just finish.
The price is right.
Yeah, but these guys, and one of the guys, I think he like gave her. I could be wrong, but like one of the guys just jizzed in a cup and gave it to her in like a parking lot. And like,
what is she gonna do with it? Fucking,
I don't know. Maybe you just inject it in your puss.
Turkey baster.
Ew, yeah.
But anyways, that's how But anyways, the guys have like a window of like, hey, it's still warm. Do it quick, so you can't freeze cum.
Okay, you can't freeze cum. You learn something new every day.
Yeah, see what you learn when you're in a relationship. You learn about the lifespan of cum and eggs.
Look, this is what you'll look like if you've been in a relationship for 15 years.
Yeah, Mark looks like he cuts his hair and stops after a little while. You look like you cut your hair and stop to eat lunch before it's done. And then you get busy with the podcast. Why you got a camera on you?
No, but that's the whole thing. He's never had a camera.
I like Mark with a camera. We should do a silhouette with Mark.
Remember, nobody knows what he looks like throughout all the episodes.
Yeah, I mean this podcast oddly is reflective of dating in real life, which is kind of crazy.
Well, I mean,
It's a commitment.
Yeah, I mean, I think that will just keep. We should date, and I will sometimes have guys on, I guess, but like for the most part, I got to get a time for him the following week and figure out like I have Brandy Denise coming up. We'll start with her. I'll just have women only.
You should
only women. And then throughout the episodes, I'll look at them and go, "You want to like do?
You want to come back next week?
Do you want to do this with me?"
No, just offer. I wouldn't.
Just like, do you want to come back next week?
So you literally have to treat this like dating, where you don't want to scare them on a first date. You're not like, "Do you want to be my girlfriend?" You want to say, "Hey, would you come back next week?"
Good idea. I like that.
Treat it like,
and I'd be like,
Give me your hand. Just say,
Do you want to come
don't
back
be
next
weird.
week?
See, so creepy about
so
it.
slowly, this is going to be a one
Hey,
woman
guys,
at a
it's not
time
re-
intervention
it's
of
not-
Michael's dating.
It's
Yeah.
not. It's not a real relationship. I can be silly about it, but like, give me your hand.
Yeah.
That's silly.
That's
Not-
funny, but I would be like, hey, this was so much fun. We're not even recording.
Oh, he's doing it like we're in an interview. It's like we're comics. I can be creepy and
See,
funny
that's,
about
that's
it.
the comic side. He does something romantic to me. I go in with it, and then his
Yeah,
joke,
he's a-
his clown brain's like, "What the fuck are you doing?"
Yeah, but like really though, he was like, no, you should like. I'm not drafting an email.
But you're still talking to another human who's a woman.
That's a comedian.
Now you got to lure them into the next episode,
Oh, that sounds creepy.
dude. That's funny. as fuck.
Would you ever sleep with a guy?
You
What
know,
are the situations?
I'm in jail forever.
You're doing it?
No. Isn't it
How
kind of
much-
crazy? Isn't it crazy there's transgenders in men's jails?
That's that's a win. If
That's kind of insane that's a lot. I mean, I get why
Do
they
they-
wouldn't put them in the women's jail, but you're like, oh, that's insane. Those dudes
Oh.
must be losing their mind.
wait. So wait, do transgender criminals get to like? Are they like this is unfair? I'm a woman. I
I
should
don't
go
know,
to a.
but I'm just
This is funny. Do transgender criminals get to go to specific
no. They go
prisons based off of
I think they actually go. I don't
to
think
what they are?
I don't
what
think
they were born.
original. Yeah, yeah. But
You don't think they can fight for rights?
I mean, maybe I don't know.
I mean, like, because I'm just saying, hypothetically, if I murdered someone and I'm going away for life, I'm transitioning and
right?
be like, I identify as a woman, I need to go to a woman prison.
I mean that. I think they did do that. This is where I'm like, did they do that?
Can
Now? Am I
you?
crazy?
Come on, that's like
Mark-
I'm doing that
Mark,
because
Mark, Google that right now. On your
Yeah,
phone.
we need
I
to
want that to be
know.
on your phone
that's an interesting thing because that's like then I think
because that determines if we're gonna fuck guys or not.
But that also determines like I think we all would be open for like let's have they need their rights. I think even people who are not understanding transgender community now they'd be like we should allow that for just in case they do go to jail.
They shouldn't know though, because they're gonna be like, they shouldn't go to the women's jail. They want them to go to the guys' jail. They want it. They're actually being anti-woke because because the off chance they get arrested.
Yeah, but then if I get arrested, I will just say I'm transitioning so I can go to a woman prison.
Oh, see, I'm thinking I'm the criminal. You're the transgender.
No.
I get what you're saying.
You would just want to be a transgender so that you could
Go to the girls'
woman's
jail.
prison.
Yeah.
So it says that they go to the prison that matches their gender assignment at birth.
Okay.
Nice. So now we're starting to get transgender women in male prisons.
Male prisons.
which is like a win for them
That's a huge win for them.
for
These
both
guys,
sides.
these guys must feel like they're in the desert with a mirage, and they're just like,
yeah,
What the
they're like, oh, I
fuck?
had to sleep with dudes for the rest of my life. Wait, this one's got
that's
boobs.
crazy.
That would be awesome. I would want to get linked up with a transgender then.
Imagine your cellmates just have.
A hot transgender. Dude, there's so many on Hinge. So many. And dude, I got to be honest. I'm on Hinge. 1 out of 10 now is a transgender. I don't push
One
X
out
right-
of 10.
It's so many. I don't push X right away. I look.
You know,
Dude,
you
I
believe
look.
his name. I want you to believe it because I'm going to say it. You know,
Yeah.
he was. This is years
I'm not
ago.
bleeping it.
Don't.
I
dude,
can't
don't.
remember how to what timestamp.
Well, it's
Because we started later, too.
45 times. Anyways, he matched with a transgender. This is years ago. Matched with a transgender girl and was talking to her on. He was just talking to her, and then she's like, "I'm transgender," and he's like, "Oh fuck." Well, no, very polite. But then he was like, "Can I still see your tits?" And then she sent the tits over, and he goes, "This is awesome." So like they still had some sort of camaraderie. Like he got tits.
I'm just
on.
saying there's times where I've sat there and I'm on Hinge and then I look and I'm like, oh, who's this? And then it says transgender and I go,
You think
more than a minute. I go,
you play, you
and
ponder.
then I pawn, yes. I'll zoom.
Mike goes, "This would be funny," and he's trying to justify why.
Clearly there could be
No, who
some.
doesn't get any credit? So like we talk about transgender women, and we're like, okay, like some are very more believable than others, which sounds like a rude thing to say. Know who looks good? Transgender men. You would never fucking know. women
who want to be
women
men
will become men, bro. I was watching Survivor. There was a guy on there who used to be a woman. Insane, like literally near perfect. Like you're never looking at a woman who wants to be a guy and being like, oh, that's a girl. Like it's actually a pretty seamless transition.
Oh, dude, we could do ones where we look at horrible prompts.
What I order at the table. What I order for the table. I'm sorry.
That's not that good.
Well, let's read it. I want to see.
Okay, fine.
What I order for the table: fries, cocktails, and a conversation that will both entertain and horrify all our fellow patrons. No,
Yeah,
that's a lie.
Yeah, that's like her
What
trying
do you
to be
mean?
funny.
What do you mean? We're not going to say things horrific that other people are going to hear.
Yeah, I don't want that. We're Xing you.
I'll fall for you if you scratch my back and feed me chocolate. What is that? Oh,
That is a female to male.
it looks good. You would never know.
Yeah.
That's a good.
She was cute. And then when she transitioned, you're like, that's pretty convincing.
It's wild. Even the girl who used
So
to be
then
in,
I would be gay if
No.
I kissed her. People would think I was, but really it's a woman.
I think you'd be.
Work done is like plastic surgery. Botox goes away. So
She
men
wants
do
to travel.
Botox.
All right.
Have you done Botox?
No.
Porn star dudes I saw get Botox on their dicks because you can't get them longer, but you can make them wider. That's like what I saw it on TikTok too. It came up on my thing.
That's kind of funny.
What's this?
That's why
girl
you
doing?
just get a fucking
Hispanic guy.
football dick.
just a goddamn soda can.
My love language is quality time. This could be she's with a parrot, green flag. I look for a good
No.
communication, a big heart.
Wait,
girl.
having a parrot is a green flag?
My simple pleasures. Dude, having a parrot, I'm out.
I'm out.
Out.
Birds are weird.
100%.
Dude, honestly-
anybody that owns a bird, it's got to be cat or
Cat?
dog.
No, I'm out on cats too.
Even a dog. I
out
wouldn't
on
be.
cats for sure.
And I want a smaller dog.
I think pets in general are just kind of too much.
Am I overreacting because my girlfriend refuses to ever split the bill? Before I even get into it, yeah, there's got to be some like.
I mean, her
unless like she's struggling, but like financially, like, yeah, there's no more. The guy needs to pay for everything.
Splitting the bill isn't about money as much as it about a gesture of recognizing someone doing the amount of like
We're doing
my
it
girlfriend
together.
Mandy will offer and I'm like, oh no. But like then there's times where I'm like, sure, I'll split like cheap shit. But it's like the fact that she's self-aware to offer makes me realize she cares and she's not like somebody who's like refusing to do something like that.
Well, let's hear this guy's story. I kind of agree. Yeah, it depends, especially unless the guy's like so rich. But even the thank you or
That's
something
still-
like that.
I don't care how rich someone is. I mean,
So I am 28 and I've been dating this girl who's 26 for about 6 months now. Things are mostly great. She's sweet, fun, and we have good chemistry. But there's one thing that's really starting to bother me. She never offers to pay. Like not once. Not for dinner, drinks, movies, trips, nothing. And it's not like she's broke. She has a full-time job and actually makes decent money. Early on, I didn't mind. I lost my place. I didn't mind because I like treating my partner and I assume we'd trade off eventually and she'd surprise me sometimes. But nope, she literally just shows up, expects everything to be covered, says thank you, like it's a routine, and that's it. I finally brought it up and she said, well, that's just how I was raised. A real man provides. I wouldn't feel feminine if I was the one pulling out my wallet. That kind of rubbed me the wrong way. I'm not asking for 50-50 all the time, but some effort or at least a thought would be nice, right? She says I'm being cheap and that if money is such a problem, maybe I'm not ready to date. But it's not about money. It's
Oh,
about
man.
the principle. Am
I
I
was gonna say, those are your
overreacting
red
or is this
flag.
a red flag or just clash expectations?
Your lack of money means you're not ready to date.
That's a
That's a
jab.
gold digger.
that's just a jab. I don't even think gold digger as much as it's
That's
like
100% a gold digger. That's
Yeah.
like if you don't have enough money to date me.
I don't.
That's literally
I wouldn't like somebody
dating
saying
in
that.
exchange for money.
To me, that's such a bizarre thing to hinge your whole relationship on, where it's like, that's just how I was raised. You're like, yeah, I mean, I understand being a gentleman and doing this and the other, but you're like, this isn't really in that, like, if it was one of those circles where I'm like, I think paying is mostly in the guy circle, but like the sliver still hits the woman's circle a little bit.
She's 26,
I don't
so I will say I can accept her point of view of that. But when you are in a committed relationship, there is like the whole, he has a right to say that, and she's not validating his feelings by dismissing it by saying, oh, you're not ready to date is
That's insane.
This isn't even about the money. Now she's not, he could have been like, hey, I don't like when you do this. And she could be like, well, that's because you're not ready to date. That's the problem. You know what I mean? She's using a term to kind of attack his feelings.
Yeah, I don't like that he brought it up in her response as well. That's just how I was raised. A real man provides. I wouldn't feel feminine, blah, blah, blah.
But that's she can say that, but then like she can't dismiss that he feels that way. That's what she's doing. That's the problem.
Yeah, I think should be some sort of compromise where if he's like, I'm going to pay 99% of the time, it'd be nice if every now and then we split it, and then it's an issue. I mean, that's kind of crazy to me.
Yeah, but also they're 28 and 26.
Yeah, it's old enough. I'm sick of, I mean, you know what I'm sick of? Bro, after 18, people are considered adults, but then there's this like gradient where in their 20s, everyone's like, yeah, they're still kids. It's like, yeah, at some point you need to not be a dumb piece of shit.
Piece of shitty bitch.
Shitty bitch or bitch bit boy or whatever. I mean, for fuck's sake, just fucking split the bill.
What happened to you? Someone did that to you?
No, I feel like in the past you hear so many times like, I know what note I used to hate a lot is when this topic always comes up and women would be like, well, if you invite me out, you should pay the bill. And I'm like, isn't the etiquette of dating that the man typically it's like, oh, that was a weird argument I'd always hear. Well, whoever asked should pay. I'm like, what girls are asking guys on dates?
Yeah, no, a guy should always pay on the first date, but
100%. I'm not saying guys shouldn't pay, and I pay 99% of the time, but I didn't like that weird like reasoning. Like, well, whoever asked, you're like, well, what the fuck are we doing here? Is that really the response that we're getting?
I remember trying to make a funny debate about what if a guy used a gift card on the date. Remember?
I've used gift cards, and you know, I don't.
No, not on the first date.
No, not first date. Which that's hilarious.
I think that's hilarious. That's a fun thing to see. How
that's what you need to do a hidden camera show where you use two gift cards on one date. Use a Visa and the cheesecake one because you don't have enough.
Yeah, I think we did it with like Alexandra. She was like, "Are you kidding me? No, they can't do that." She was like, "No, you can't." What?
That just bothers me.
Really?
Who gives a fuck?
So on a first date,
do you think I'm that poor?
Does the bill get paid? It gets paid.
It gets fucking paid. I don't want to have a fucking 9 cards in my wallet. Hey, guess what? Don't look down.
Because it's the thought that you picked that place to use the gift card.
That's so bad.
Yeah, I guess.
Unless it's one of those Amex gift cards.
Yeah, I mean, that's a little branch of this argument.
Like if,
what if it's a Visa one? My Visa one.
If it's
or
like,
you have to randomly remember the amount. You can't just swipe it. They go, I need to know the balance. I go, who the fuck remembers the balance of these things?
All right. Next one.
My girlfriend pays. She offers to pay a lot, and I appreciate that. But I pay. But she's so good with like we're equal money. Like, you know, it's good like that.
I'll start saying it like if I'm hanging out with a girl all weekend, I'm like pay for something.
That's funny.
Yeah,
that's great.
Like she went in and got coffee, and I was like, yeah, give me coffee, and like that, like it's like something, especially when you're spending $1,000 on a whole weekend, you know, eating and drinking and stuff like that.
I think it's like I said, it's just the gesture that goes, oh, okay. I mean, your way of doing it's. What if she goes, no?
Well, I didn't pay for the flight a couple times.
That's true. See that? There you go.
You know, whatever.
In
my opinion, am I overreacting? Got back home from being 9 days away, and my partner greeted me like this. I went to visit my family, and my boyfriend of 5.5 years stayed home alone. We didn't talk much while I was away. Only a couple of texts every 3 days. Jesus. I thought maybe he wanted some space, so this didn't bother me. I missed his birthday, but I made up by sending a nice and thoughtful text, the gift he wanted, and also bought him a cake and candles as soon as I got home. When we sat down to eat, he started telling me what an amazing time he had, how much he loved being alone.
This guy's married for sure.
And he goes, he went on how his productivity improved and how he was more focused at work, how he enjoyed living in his own mess, and how much better he slept and woke up fully rested. At this point, I said, sounds like you want to be single again. And he replied after taking a minute, I don't know completely about that. Oh,
I don't want to
man.
continue the conversation.
I don't know completely about that. Well, what does that mean? Is that
Maybe
like
he
saying,
was like, I don't know about.
I don't know completely about. It's
that.
because he said completely. He should have said, I don't know about that. But he said,
Yeah.
I don't know completely about that. Makes her go like, what? Because it made me do it too. I don't know why he said it like that instead
It's
of
kind
saying.
of just a weird way to say it.
Yeah, it is a weird way to say it. And then he goes, I didn't want to continue the conversation anymore, and I went to the bedroom. Worst thing is, I'm 3 days late, and I don't feel like talking to him about this at all. I feel hurt by the comment he made. Am I overreacting?
First question one, what are you doing visiting your family around his birthday? Like, what's the reason to leave around a significant other's
I wish I would.
birthday?
I would like to know their ages. Too.
So what's funny is I completely understand this because when my wife goes away for like a couple days to work on a job,
Right.
is my most productive time.
No,
I'll
I
be
get
like,
that.
oh, it was great. And like, I'm not going
Yeah.
to wallow in my own filth like this guy
Well, that's
apparently
weird.
did. But it's like, oh, this doesn't have to go into the hamper today.
This is a tough one.
I will do dishes tomorrow.
Yeah, I mean, I get all that. Like, you can do whatever the fuck you want. But I mean, my question, she went to visit family, but it was just so happened landed on his birthday. Why did you do that then? That's one question. That shapes how I would argue this whole thing. Because really, it's like, he's butthurt you left on his birthday.
Well,
Probably-
maybe, yeah. I mean, we're assuming.
We're assuming.
He is.
What is
Come on.
what is visiting the family like? She goes to San Diego, they live in LA, or because then that's something she didn't have to go right away.
That's what I'm
or
saying.
is it like they live in Connecticut and they live in San Francisco, and like, oh, this is the only time she could go see her family. You know what I mean? So like that's what we need, that information. Like visiting the family could be an hour away, and she stayed there for the weekend.
And she's like,
That's
why the
not
fuck did
necessarily, you
go?
didn't have to go when it was his birthday. But if it's across the country and timing, that's fine. But also,
Fuck her for fuck this. Why did you leave her on his birthday and now you're coming on here and you know the reason why you left and you're not putting it in here? That's sus to me. You're seeking us to side with you, but yet in this story you didn't tell us why you left her on his birthday.
I think that if we
bothers
had to
me.
guess, she went to go visit her family because maybe they're having kind of some issues. 5.5 years is a long time. And to go home, but imagine for 5.5 years, dude, even if I'm talking to a girl that not even dating, we didn't talk much while I was away, only a couple of texts every 3 days. I text every day.
But hypothetically, what if he's mad? He goes, "You left on his birthday."
But besides the
but
fact
you know what?
the
I will say this.
communication's crazy.
Well, that's really,
5.5 years, your shared location status.
yeah.
You're talking every day, and then maybe sending some thoughtful texts. The gift he wanted, and also bought him a cake and candles as soon as I got home. When we sat down,
She must have had a decent reason if she's doing all that. You know, I also know these guys in relationships where the girlfriend will go do something and then the boyfriend's like, I'm not going. And then that's
Yeah.
a weird thing too.
That could be it. But also, he also could have been like, to not make you feel bad, like, no, I had a great time. It was awesome. I got so much work done. I got sleep done. Like,
Bless you.
we don't know how he said it. Like, if you say to me, how was your weekend?
How was your weekend?
It was pretty good. I got like good rest, got a lot of work done. I finally got some, I feel like I had the best sleep of my life in a while. It was really good. Like, I had a fun time. Or
And
ask me again.
Now I go, sounds like you want to be single again.
Yeah, but now ask me again, how's your weekend?
How was your weekend?
It was honestly the best time of my life. And I'm so happy it happened. You know, like there's different ways.
Yeah.
That would be like, oh, he's rubbing it in her face.
He's just being butthurt.
Yeah.
After 5.5 years, you're like, what are you doing? This is a tough one. I don't know who I like. Because my question is, why didn't he just go with her to see the family? What if she's like, I'm going to go.
It's probably Middle Eastern.
Or he's like, I hate your fucking family. I don't want to go there again.
If you don't like someone's family, it's
I
like,
mean,
what's
maybe. Why
the
wouldn't he
point?
go?
Do you like your girlfriend's family?
Yeah, they're great.
I mean, way to put him on a
Yeah, they're
spot.
great. No, I do.
Well,
actually.
Mark, do you like your wife's family?
I do.
Aren't they like Russian or some shit?
No,
What is your wife? What nationality?
from Santa Barbara.
Oh, I don't know why he seems like he dated like Russian women.
It seems like he gets dominated by his wife with a
Just
whip.
fucking pegged. She goes, go to your podcast studio.
I don't know.
I don't know. This one sucked. This was incomplete. Is there comments?
Oh yeah, I mean I have to pull it up.
Let's read the comments. Dude, I can literally sit there and watch you just go on Hinge for an hour and a half.
Really? I would pull up the other one, but you can't screen record it. Right.
Oh, you can't.
No,
Oh yeah, you
it will
get
kicked out. Like,
You can screen record.
I can.
what do you mean?
I'll plug it into that.
And
Plug
then
what
screen
in?
record your.
Plug your phone into it.
It's no right.
You would
It's-
get
it
booted
knows.
though, right?
It won't,
Like if I pulled up right now, it'd go "Dun-dun-dun," and it would kick you off the app, and you get a warning.
because you were streaming it to the TV.
Yeah.
Hmm.
I've accidentally done it before. Like gone on my app because
When I had a dating app years ago, I remember
Dude, it's
screenshotting.
so smart. I mean, I promise you.
All right.
Once your screen recording are plugged in, you can't. It just knows. It's not dumb.
Can you plug it into like?
The only way you can do it is if you were streaming from like your camera phone and you pulled your camera out from my phone as I was on it. It's the only way
I'm
around
wondering. We'll see if we can do something.
I think you're saying
can't-
if you just if you project onto his thing.
Oh, I'm
and
not
then
talking about
screen-
projecting it. Like we use the HDMI out.
That's what I'm
Nope,
saying.
it will know. You're plugged in. It will know.
Oh, it knows.
Yeah, it just knows. It's not stupid. I mean, bro, there's
So if
celebrity messages on there. They have to be able to protect that. Like if someone's screening them, otherwise you would see people would do that all the time. You'd see
Then
so
we
many
could
messages
put.
from
Then we could
athletes.
put a camera on the phone. That's
You could
easy.
do that, but no. I mean,
but now
there's
you're
no
gonna
point.
get banned. I mean, that's his
Yeah,
livelihood. Look at he has so many damn.
Yeah.
Whoa, that one looks crazy.
You know what I think it's weird that some dudes in relationships do, and they'll like bring up ex-girlfriends around their girlfriend.
What do you mean?
Like we'll be hanging out with a couple and he's like, yeah, it's like when I dated so and so and blah 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 blah, and it's like they bring him up and I'm like, what a weird person to like bring up in a conversation. And it's not like it's like a good reason. It's kind of just like a throwaway thing, and I think that's kind of strange.
I might have done that. I might do that sometimes. Am I overreacting?
Am I overreacting? I keep saying that. AIO.
Am I over? Is that
It's not
this is a
it.
different one. This is the same kind of thing. Like, bro, more women just overreacting about their reaction of a husband.
Jesus Christ. A few days ago, I went out with coworkers to get drinks after our long night shift. A couple girls and one guy. I do contract work, meaning I travel between facilities, but I enjoy making friends to make the contracts easier. I'd called my husband before going out and told him I would be going out. He was first okay with it. He called me back saying he's no longer wanted me to go. I had already told my coworkers I was going and did not want to take it back because I wanted to go. He then proceeded to call me 3 to 5 times until I finally stepped outside and took the phone call. He was crying, asking me to come home. This part I feel slightly bad about. I told him I had already ordered food and drinks and I would come home as quickly as I can. At this point, I feel like he was trying to manipulate me into coming home.
Yeah.
It's now days later and he has been accusing me of trying to ruin our relationship. I broke down and apologized, saying that was never my intention. Now he continues to bring up, asking me why I was willing to risk our 5-year marriage. Am I overreacting? What the fuck is he talking about?
She's not overreacting.
What on earth is this man doing?
Yeah. Also, he's trying to like to put that anxiety on her when she's ordering drinks and food and being like, oh, I better finish so I can go home to him.
Well, the idea that she can't be like, well, hey,
I'm sorry. He said it's fine and then calls her crying as she like exaggerated. Probably not crying, but like bitching. He sounds annoying as fuck, like projecting much. That's funny. Yeah, this guy sucks.
I mean, dude,
gotta
there's
do
something major going on. 5 years of marriage,
and he's freaking out.
and she can't go out. He sounds annoying as fuck, like projecting.
Man, I would
much.
love to hear the guy's side or the opposing partner side of all these because I'm sure they're like, well, and he just starts.
Yeah,
bitching.
people are like, something. I mean, is this even real?
Risk your 5-year marriage because you want to go out for coffee with work colleagues. Something is seriously up with your husband. Yeah, like that's crazy. This guy's getting dragged. I like that.
Dude.
My husband was playing let's do husband ones again.
Yeah, my husband was playing a card game on his phone while driving our family in the car.
Give the guy a break. My 35-year-old female mom.
We don't know. What's this one? My 35-year-old mom and 58-year-old.
What?
My almost boyfriend? Okay.
My 35-year-old female mom just got engaged without telling me. She meant me
35. My mom 58.
just got engaged without telling me. That's stupid. Am I cute? Am I overreacting for being weirded out by this cute habit my almost boyfriend has?
Let's hear this one. I've been talking to this guy for like 2 months now. Not officially dating yet, but it's in the weird between stage where you're basically a couple without the label. He's sweet, funny, makes killer playlists, major point. I'm already out.
Yeah, it sounds lame.
And this is a lot. I'm out. This is too long. Don't say sorry. I'll cry. Yeah. One more and we'll wrap up because Mark's getting scared.
Getting fidgety.
Is my boyfriend tracking me? Am I overreacting? Which one?
I don't know. Fiance hid her phone while asking to go through my phone.
That one.
My husband pushes my boundaries.
All right.
Oh, that's fun.
This one's good. I have caught my husband of 5 years taking pictures of me while I'm sleeping. That's weird, right? Not the cutesy ones, but under my nightgown, titty hanging out, obscene pictures. I've expressed that I'm not comfortable with him taking them or keeping them. I'm also breastfeeding our 4th child. There's always titties out. But because I'm feeding, I don't want them to do anything sexual with my breasts. However, he keeps trying to push that boundary. He tries to kiss them during sex, and it's not one-time thing. He does it every single time we do it. I know it sounds like I'm complaining about my husband, but I'm so tired of the fighting about sex. If we go more than 5 days without it, he starts to throw tantrums. Sounds like me. Mind you, we have 4 kids, 6, 4, 2, and almost 1, and I stay home. His tantrums consist of tossing and turning excessively, storming out of the bedroom, going to the bathroom excessively, sitting in the living room, huffing and puffing, etc. All quiet stuff so he doesn't wake the kids, but enough noise to wake me up or annoy me. And that's just the half of it. All of this combined makes it hard for me to want to have sex with him. I just don't know what to do anymore. Is this what marriage is like? It feels like the more I give him, the more he wants. I'm sorry if this is all over the place. This is my first post, so there's so much going on. I can't focus on one thing.
I mean, these dudes were locked in when you said titty hanging out.
Well, the best part is like,
crazy.
it sounds like she has 5 kids.
Yeah. Oh, wait. Oh, yeah.
I wonder how old they are.
6, 4, 2, and 1. Oh, how old they are. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, lots to unpack here, but you are not overreacting. Taking sexual pictures without your consent is not okay. I agree.
That's
that part,
absolutely insane.
That part's insane.
That sounds like something you would do.
No.
You'd think that's funny.
I don't even want to joke. No.
He's
That's
in it for the bit.
Yeah, it's funny. No. Now, if it was for a bit and then I'm sharing it with her,
That's
but
what
like
I'm saying.
the fact that he's doing it sexually is weird.
That's weird when she's
That's got some
sleeping.
weird sexually stuff. Crossing a sexual boundary after explicitly stating it's not okay. So I'm trying to understand this part. So they are having sex and he'll like maybe suck on her nipples and she doesn't want that.
I don't understand that part.
Which is like, okay, fine.
Well, she's in the middle of breastfeeding and she's like, it's not sexual for me right now because it's breastfeeding.
In her mind, it's weird.
Yeah,
and that's fine. But yeah, if she says no, then don't do it.
Right.
His tantrums to getting turned down for sex are not okay.
That's lame.
That's the weird one.
Yeah, stop being a bitch. Just go crank it like an adult and move on. Damn.
Well, I mean, look, that was a good episode, and for when we have a male perspective on it.
Yeah, it's fun.
Well, you know how I end every episode.